Okay, let me make sure that it's like the blue snowball is working. Let me do a test here. And it is. It's working fine. So I'm just doing a test of ECamm for next week. I've got to be out for one of my classes, and I'm going to stream. Going to try to, from my distance location, get ECamm up and going. If not, then I'll just come back through on Restream and do a very simple setup. But we'll see. See what I got. So I'm just making sure my Stream Deck is still set up as it should be. So I've got my transition, my opening. I've got my fancy. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Helps a lot. I'm not a monetary streamer, but it makes me feel good psychologically. All right. So let me move on to the next. Let's go to the main. Here's the main. So I've got my main set up. We're talking about confidence intervals now in class. We'll go back to this, and I'll try to write a little bit neater for this. As I'm walking through, I am going to do a stream tomorrow that I'm going to record and leave up here for not the confidence intervals, but for discrete and continuous probability distribution. So a quick review for the exam. That won't be this week because I will be out of town, but will be the next week. And those that were in class the other night already got this information. I will post it to the Moodle along with this, talking about it in the video. So we move on to, as a workspace, let's move on to the calculator workspace. Once I get into the calculator workspace, I've got workspace and calculator, so I can easily go on here and talk about the fact that if we want to work a binomial distribution, let's say, then we're working with the probability of x, and that equals n factorial over n minus x factorial, that's a subtract, x factorial times probability of success to the x power times probability of failure to the n minus x. We also worked, those of you that were in class, let me switch colors here. We also worked on using second vars, and that brings you to the DISTR, to your distributions, right? And then we worked with binom, PDF. We worked with the syntax of NP and X. We also worked with the syntax of NP, and then going to STO and storing it to L1 and finding all our values there. It's underneath me right now. I'm just kind of practicing right now, getting ready for next week, making sure that everything, camera and everything is working. And I'll go back and review this. So that's my calculator. And now when I walk through this, I'm looking at something like this. Second vars, scroll down, whoops, to binom PDF. And this brings me up to a wizard. And just like in class, we have to get out of that wizard because I just don't work with them. It's okay if you do. I mean, this, you've got your probability of success, the value of your random variable, and how many trials there are. So I'm looking at n right here. I could do it like here. So let's say there's 8 trials. Probability of success is 0.612, let's say, for whatever context we're talking about, and let's go for 0. Enter. Yeah, so it brings it up just like this, which is how I normally bring it up. You just hit enter. There it is, to the -4, so we're sitting at 0.000513634,048. Okay, so the calculator's showing up my work over here, and I just have to remember when I'm working. If you notice right here, I'm a little bit off. If you notice right here, I've got some stuff I wrote that didn't show up. So I've got to remember that I've got a smaller screen there, which I wonder. Okay, again, this is a test, so if anybody popped in here and is watching, which it doesn't look like anybody is, like right now I've got a custom, but if I just go square, that doesn't help. If I go wide, that's terrible. Classic, no, although wide, no. Wide, classic, square, circle. Looks kind of neat, but no. Squircle? No. Back to custom. Okay. I'll leave it right there, although I will pull this over a little bit. Okay. So as you see, I've got my calc page. So let me go back. I've got my just me page. This is just the intro, just coming in. This is what we're going to talk about tonight. Gives me a chance to ask folks to maybe subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I can just leave that sitting up there, and then I go to my main page, which is my main work page. As I'm talking and working through problems, this is where they'll be at. And I can I'll have to work with this area a little closer. I haven't worked with that in a little while. That's the main, that's that. And then I go to my calculator page. I've worked through a binomial PDF, no context, just threw some numbers out there. And then I've got a second one, but this one's kind of junk. This is just a second one that I had where I've got a larger workspace and not as much calculator, but it's okay. It's not true junk. I forgot what this is. It's not working anyway. And then I think this is a junk page. No, this is my disruption page. So steps for calculating individual probabilities for binomial distribution. There they are. So trying to remember what that was. That was just that. Okay, so back to the main. So there's my test. I just wanted to run through again. I'm pushing out to YouTube. I'm pushing out to Twitch. My students I pushed to YouTube, although one of my students went to Twitch the previous time. So somehow in my syllabus I must have still had that still up there, which is fine. All right, if anybody comes back to this, please, if you like and follow, that helps me a little bit. It makes me feel good about myself. I am not a monetary streamer. I stream online office hours for my class. I stream Xbox and PlayStation just for fun. Very few people watch it, although sometimes every once in a while people will come by, take a look at it. So, all right, have a good rest of your Saturday, and I appreciate you.